Welcome back to my channel. Everyone, I'm genuinely thrilled to meet you all again today in this cozy, familiar space. Today, we're going to dive into a topic that I believe many of us, myself included, have quietly wondered about but rarely dare to mention out loud. Even in a whisper. Have you ever noticed that sometimes you, or an older family member, like your grandparents or parents, have a scent that's a little unusual? It's not quite the typical body odor we associate with someone coming back from the gym. Nor is it the luxurious or overpowering smell of perfume. It's something hard to pin down, faint, lingering, like a thin wisp of smoke that drifts around unnoticed. Sometimes, you don't even sense it yourself. But those around you, friends, kids, or even a stranger, might pick up on it. I know this is a sensitive topic, so sensitive that it's almost taboo in many families. Nobody wants to admit they have a smell, right? Just the thought of someone gently saying, "Hey, you smell a bit off today," is enough to make us blush, feel awkward, or even take offense. I still remember one time when I was little, sitting next to my grandma on a summer afternoon. She'd just finished cooking lunch, and her clothes carried a hint of oil and spices. But mixed in there was another scent, not exactly unpleasant, but very distinct. Back then, I didn't dare ask her about it. I just thought to myself, maybe she was too busy to shower. But as I grew up, I realized I'd completely misunderstood. And trust me, this is incredibly common, especially among older adults. And it's absolutely not because of poor hygiene like we often rush to assume. Today, I'm going to reveal the scientific reason behind this unique scent, a reason that, when I discovered it, made me exclaim, "Oh, so that's it." More importantly, I'll share with you simple, effective ways to address it, without relying on expensive perfume bottles or overpowering deodorants that sometimes just make things messier. You'll be surprised by what you learn. I didn't just sit here reading books or Googling stuff. I've actually tested these methods with my own family, from my parents to my grandparents, to ensure what I'm sharing is practical, doable, and delivers real results. Let me tell you a little story before we dive in. A few months ago, I visited my grandpa, someone I've always admired for his neatness and cleanliness. He has a habit of showering every morning, wearing crisp shirts, and even hand-washing his clothes despite being over 80. But when I hugged him, I noticed a faint scent, not sweat, not soap, but something uniquely his own, like the smell of an old wooden cabinet that's been around for years. I wondered, why is that? He's obviously so clean. That question sparked my curiosity to dig deeper. And what I found truly changed how I view the human body as we age. Before we get started, I'd like you to do a little something with me. If this topic feels relevant to your life, whether it's about you or a loved one, please press the number 1 in the comments to show your support for me to keep sharing. I believe the more people know about this, the more we can help others feel confident in their daily lives. This isn't just about smells, it's about how we care for ourselves and those around us in a subtle, non-judgmental way. Are you ready? Let's explore together. I promise the next 10 minutes will be worth it, not only to better understand our bodies but also to discover solutions you can try tonight. Causes, the science behind the scent. First off, I want to clear something up right from the start so we're on the same page. The smell we often associate with older adults, that faint, lingering one I mentioned in the intro, it's not because they don't shower enough or aren't clean. This is a common misconception that I'm sure many of us, including me, have fallen into. I've even seen people nag older family members, saying things like, "Why don't you shower more thoroughly?" or "Put on some perfume to smell nicer." But the truth I've uncovered is that doing so not only doesn't fix the issue, it can sometimes make things worse. Have you ever sprayed perfume on yourself to mask a smell, only to find the old scent mixing with the new one into something even stranger? I've done that, and let me tell you, it was a disaster. So, what's the real cause? Science has the answer, and it's called nonanal. Nonanal sounds odd, doesn't it? The first time I heard it, I thought, that sounds like a superhero name or some kind of medicine. But no. It's a completely natural chemical compound produced when the fatty acids on our skin oxidize. Let me break it down simply. Imagine your skin as a tiny factory, constantly churning out oils and substances to keep it healthy. But as we age, especially after 40, this factory starts working a bit differently. It produces more nonanal. Scientists describe its smell as grassy, waxy, or sometimes a little musty, very distinctive and tough to wash off with regular soap. I once got to sniff a sample of nonanal during a lab visit with a friend. No kidding. It smelled like freshly cut hay mixed with that old book vibe you get from flipping through dusty pages. I remember asking my friend, "Are you sure this is something on people's skin and not just the smell of my old storage shed?" He burst out laughing and said, "Yep, it's way more common than you think. But why does nonanal show up more as we get older?" I found 3 main reasons. And I'll explain them as simply as possible so you can follow along. No need to be a scientist to get this. I promise. The first reason is that our skin changes over time, something I think we all notice. But not everyone realizes it's tied to body odor. When we're young, our skin pumps out tons of natural oils, the kind that sometimes makes your face shiny by noon. Those oils wash off easily when you shower, a little soap, and they're gone. But as we age, our skin gets drier and produces less oil. Sounds like good news for anyone who hates greasy skin. Right? I thought so too. But here's the catch. When skin dries out, those oxidized fatty acids, aka nonanal, cling to it more stubbornly. Like they've found the perfect hiding spot. The result? They're harder to wash away, no matter how much you scrub. Picture this. If I spill some oil on a wet cotton pad, water washes it right off. But if I spill it on a dry pad, it sticks much more, right? That's how our skin works. I used to think dry skin would mean less odor. But it's the total opposite. Once, I asked my mom, "Do you feel like your skin's drier than it used to be?" She nodded and said, "Yeah, I thought it was just the weather." But no, it's a big part of why that signature scent shows up. The second reason is that we sweat less as we age, a change I once thought was awesome until I dug deeper. You might think, less sweat, less smell, right? Who doesn't hate that sticky feeling after a workout? I thought the same, and I remember my mom complaining that she barely sweated anymore, especially in the summer. I even cheered. Great, no more sweat odor to worry about. But I was wrong. Sweat isn't just a smell maker, it's a natural way for the body to flush out toxins. When we sweat less, those toxins don't get released, they build up on the skin, teaming up with nonanal to create a more noticeable scent. Think of it like this. Sweat is like a little stream washing dirt off your skin. If that stream dries up, the dirt sticks around, right? I tested this myself on days I didn't move much. My skin felt heavier, like something was clinging to it. For older adults, this is even more pronounced because the body naturally cuts back on sweating with age. So, instead of reducing odor, less sweat accidentally makes nonanal stand out more. Finally, and this one shocked me the most, did you know your mouth plays a role in body odor too? As we age, our salivary glands work less efficiently, leaving our mouths drier. This creates a playground for bacteria to thrive, not just causing bad breath but also affecting overall body scent. I was stunned when a doctor told me, just a dry mouth alone can set off a chain reaction that impacts your whole body. I thought, seriously? So every time I forget to drink water, I'm basically making myself smellier? I recall asking my grandpa, "Do you feel like your mouth is drier than before?" He nodded and said, "Yeah, sometimes I drink a whole liter and still feel dry." Turns out, when saliva drops, bacteria in the mouth don't just stink up there. They contribute to a heavier body odor through processes I won't bore you with scientifically. But it really got me thinking. Something as small as a dry mouth can have such a big impact. Isn't that fascinating? I bet you never thought something as simple as saliva could tie into body odor. When I first read about nonanal and these 3 reasons, I thought, wow, the human body is an incredible machine. But don't worry, now that we know the causes, finding solutions becomes so much easier. Stick around, because the next part is all about practical fixes I've tried, not just on paper but in real life, and they really work. You won't want to miss it. I promise. Part 3. Solutions, effective ways to tackle it. Now that we know where this signature scent comes from, that quirky nonanal compound I just told you about, it's time to take action. I'm really excited for this part because it's where we turn knowledge into practical steps to make a difference. I'll share a bunch of simple yet super effective solutions that anyone can use, whether it's you, your parents, grandparents, or any family member. Don't worry, you won't need to splurge on fancy products or overcomplicate things. We'll start with showering, but not the usual quick rinse and done kind. This is a strategic way to shower, and I'm convinced that if you give it a shot, you'll notice a difference right away. Solution 1. The Triple S shower method. I call this the Triple S wash, 3 S's standing for 3 key areas to focus on when you shower. Sounds simple, right? But if you do it properly, you'll see results fast, no kidding. I've tried this method on myself and my family, and the outcome honestly blew me away. Let's walk through each step together. I'll break it down so you can start tonight. S1. Skin folds. The first is skin folds, places like your neck, armpits, under the breasts, especially for women, behind the knees, and elbows. Have you noticed how body odor tends to hang out in these spots? I used to think it was just the armpits. But nope, these areas are often damp and airless, like a cozy little nook where bacteria and nonanal love to gather. When you shower, take an extra few seconds to clean these spots thoroughly. But gently, okay? I once tried scrubbing hard to get rid of the smell, like going all out on my armpits, and ended up with red, itchy skin all day, while the scent stuck around. Then I learned that just using my fingertips or a soft cloth with soap does the trick. I remember the first time I tried this with my grandma. She's always been super clean, but I noticed she skipped areas like under her breasts and behind her knees when showering, spots she didn't think mattered. I told her, "Grandma, just rub gently for a few seconds. No need to scrub hard." A few days later, she called me and said, "You were right, I feel so different." It hit me then that sometimes a tiny tweak in how we shower can make a huge impact. S2. Scalp. Next up is the scalp. Hair and the scalp trap odors like nobody's business, something I didn't realize until I paid closer attention. A lot of people, especially guys, sorry if I'm calling you out here, just rinse their hair quickly or give it a light scratch, thinking that's enough. I was guilty of that too. Once, I rinsed my hair for 30 seconds and told myself, "Done, clean." But no, that's not enough. Use your fingertips to gently massage in circles for a deep clean, not just the hair, but the scalp underneath. I tried this with my dad, who's notoriously lazy about washing his hair properly. He'd just rinse and say, "Men don't need all that fuss." But after I convinced him to massage his scalp right, he was shocked and said, "Why's the smell so much less?" After a few times, he started doing it on his own without me nagging. I also found a little trick. If you use a no-fragrance or low-chemical shampoo, it works even better. Once, I used an orange-scented shampoo so strong I thought it'd overpower nonanal. But nope, the orange mixed with the old smell into something even weirder. Since then, I've switched to a gentler one, and the results are way better. Try it. Just 2 minutes of massaging makes a noticeable difference. S3. Sweaty spots. Last but not least are the sweaty spots like your feet, especially between the toes and palms. Feet cooped up in shoes all day are a paradise for odors. I bet you've smelled your own shoes or someone else's in the house. Right? I used to skip between my toes when showering, thinking a quick rinse was fine. But one day, I sniffed my socks after a long day. Oh boy. Big mistake. From then on, I decided to wash my feet thoroughly, using a soft brush for the toe gaps. And my palms too. They've got more sweat glands than you'd think. It only takes a couple of minutes, but the payoff is huge. I tested this with my brother, a total sneaker addict who wears them all day. I told him, "Bro, try washing between your toes properly. Don't slack off." He laughed at first, saying I was overreacting, but after a week, he admitted, "Okay, my shoes do smell less. So don't sleep on these small areas, they're sneaky culprits." Before moving on, I want to share a few extra shower tips I've picked up from experience. First, use a mild, unscented soap or one with a natural scent. Steer clear of strong fragrances that can dry out your skin more. Second, avoid super hot water. I know it feels great, but it strips away protective oils, letting nonanal cling harder. I switched to warm water a few years back, and my skin's thanked me ever since. No more roughness. Third, pat dry with a towel instead of rubbing. Older skin's more fragile than you think. And finally, slap on some moisturizer right after. While your skin's still damp, it locks in moisture and keeps it soft. I used to skip moisturizing, thinking a clean shower was enough. But after sticking with it, I noticed my skin wasn't just softer, it smelled less too. My mom loved this tip. She said, "Why didn't I know this sooner?" So don't skip this step. Solution 2. Lifestyle habits. Showering right is the foundation. I'm convinced the triple S method will change how you see bath time. But to tackle this scent for good, we need some small lifestyle tweaks. These are things I've tried and found amazing. They don't just cut the smell, they make you healthier too. Let's check them out. Drink enough water. First up is drinking enough water, a simple habit so many overlook, including me back in the day. Water's not just good for you, It helps cut body odor from the inside by flushing toxins out through sweat and urine. Toxins we know team up with nonanal. I recommend warm water, especially a glass first thing in the morning. It's like hitting reset on your body. I used to be lazy about water, sipping maybe 2 to 3 glasses a day, mostly tea or coffee instead. But since sticking to 6 glasses daily, morning, noon, afternoon, night, my body feels so much lighter, and my skin's less dry. I tried this with my grandpa too. He didn't like water because he said, drink too much, and I'm running to the bathroom all the time. But I got him to try a warm glass each morning. And after a few weeks, he said, I do feel better. So start with 1 small glass a day. You'll be amazed at the difference. Light sun exposure. Sounds weird, right? But 10 to 15 minutes of early morning or late afternoon sun can kill odor-causing bacteria on your skin. A natural trick I didn't expect. I often step onto my balcony in the morning, breathing fresh air while my skin soaks up some rays. 2 birds, 1 stone. At first, I thought, how could sun help with body odor? But after reading that gentle UV rays can zap skin bacteria, I gave it a go. My skin didn't just smell less, it felt fresher too. I suggested this to my mom, who loves staying indoors to avoid tanning. I said, Mom, just 10 minutes. You won't get dark, and it's good for you. After a few days, she admitted, I do feel lighter, but heads up, don't overdo it. And use sunscreen if you're out midday, we want less smell. Not sunburn. Diet. Next is diet. Something I didn't pay attention to until I experimented. Boost your intake of antioxidant-rich fruits and veggies like tomatoes, apples, strawberries, and greens. They fight oxidation, meaning less nonanal production. I also toss garlic into my meals. Yeah, it's pungent when you eat it, but once digested, it helps deodorize from within. Since eating more greens and garlic, my body odors drop, and my skin's clearer too. I made a salad for my family once. My mom wrinkled her nose at the garlic. But after a few tries, she said, this is tasty, and I feel lighter. My brother loved it so much he asked for it daily. So toss some veggies into your meals. Tasty, healthy, and confidence boosting. Oral hygiene. Don't forget your mouth, since we know less saliva can boost bacteria. Take good care of it. Brush after meals, floss, and scrape your tongue daily. I also tried chewing sugar-free gum or sucking on a lemon slice. Instant fresh breath. I used to skip tongue scraping, thinking brushing was enough. But once I started, I realized my tongue was a bacteria hideout I'd ignored. My dad picked it up after I showed him, saying, why didn't I know this before? Just 2 minutes a day on your mouth, and you'll notice a difference not just in breath but overall body scent. Give it a shot, you won't regret it. Solution 3. Clothes, bedding, and living space. Lastly, no matter how clean you shower, if your clothes or home aren't fresh, the smell sneaks back like an uninvited guest. Wash your underwear daily, I mean daily, because sweat and nonanal cling there the most. Go for breathable cotton over synthetics. And if you can, sun dry them for natural bacteria killing power. Bed sheets and pillowcases need a weekly wash too. I once slacked on my sheets for a month, and the smell was unreal. I also open my windows twice a day, morning and night. 10 minutes each, to keep the air flowing. Simple but works wonders. I got my whole family on board. My mom now washes pillowcases weekly. And my dad loves sun-drying clothes, saying, the sun's smell beats fabric softener any day. Since then, our home's not just cleaner but feels so much fresher. So, we've journeyed together today, from uncovering the mystery of that faint, puzzling scent in older adults, to the science of nonanal and natural body changes, to practical solutions I'm confident you can use right now. I truly hope you found this video helpful, not just to understand yourself or loved ones better, but to feel more confident and at ease with a sensitive topic like this. Please press 1 in the comments if you'd like me to make more videos on this. I'd love your input on how I can help more. Thanks for watching from start to finish. I know it's a long one, but you're sticking with me to the end means the world, and I'm so grateful. Before I say goodbye, let me share a final thought and some inspiration. When I started researching and filming this, I didn't just want to share facts. I wanted to shift how we view scent and aging. I remember chatting with my grandma after trying the Triple S wash I told you about. She held my hand, smiled kindly, and said, "Sweetie, I didn't think such small changes could make me feel so confident hugging you." That's when I realized we're not just reducing odor, we're bringing comfort and connection to those we love. Ever thought a simple act like tweaking your shower, drinking more water, or washing sheets more often could make someone in your family smile brighter? I believe we all want that, for ourselves and those around us. So, let me recap what we've covered today, not for you to jot down, but to help you picture it and pick what works best for you. We learned this scent isn't about poor hygiene, it's nonanal, a natural compound that ramps up as skin dries, sweat drops, and saliva fades. I was shocked when I found this out, and I bet you were too. But more importantly, we've got solutions. The Triple S shower targeting skin folds, scalp, and sweaty spots, small lifestyle shifts like drinking water, light sun exposure, eating more veggies, and oral care, and keeping clothes, bedding, and your space clean and airy. Sounds like a lot, but they're just little steps, ones I've tested with my family and seen work wonders. Imagine this. You spend an extra 2 minutes massaging your scalp in the shower. Sip a warm glass of water each morning, and open your window for 10 minutes a day, that's it. And you've already changed so much. I used to think expensive perfume or strong deodorant was the fix. But nope. Once, I got my dad a perfume bottle, he sprayed it once. Then stashed it away, saying, "I don't like this smell, natural's best." And he's right, these simple, natural solutions don't just work, they let us feel at ease with ourselves. What I want you to take from this isn't just practical tips, but a positive mindset. This signature scent isn't something to be ashamed of or judge. It's a natural part of aging, like gray hair or wrinkles, and we can totally manage it with a bit of care and love. My brother teased me once while I was testing these tips. "Why are you obsessed with smells all day?" I shot back, "Because I want our family to feel confident, not shy about hugging." He laughed, but later I caught him using a brush on his toes in the bathroom. So, where will you start? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below. Maybe the Triple S method first, or a warm glass of water each morning. Or do you already do some of these and want to share how it's going? I'm dying to know. And if you found this topic cool, press 1 in the comments to cheer me on for more videos. Maybe next time I'll cover keeping your breath fresh all day or cleaning your space without chemicals. What do you want next? Tell me. Before I sign off, I want to thank you again, from the bottom of my heart, for watching this whole video. I know life's busy with a million things to do, but your being here with me to the end is a huge motivator to keep sharing. If you like this, hit that like button. It helps the video reach more people. And maybe someone's loved one will find confidence from these little tips. Share it with friends, family, especially older folks you cherish, and hit subscribe if you haven't yet. The bell icon's key too. I don't want you missing what's coming next. See you in the next video. I'm already brainstorming, but I'll wait for your input to decide. Leave a comment telling me which tip you'll try first. Or just say, "Hi," so I know you made it here. Thank you. Truly thank you so much, and I wish you an awesome day full of confidence and comfort with yourself. Bye for now.